Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And some pretty amazing news. The URC final is sold out within 3 hours, might I add. And the perfect way to start going into the weekend, start looking at the build-up to what is going to be an absolutely epic final next weekend down in Cape Town. And the reason I'm doing a video about this is because this is very important. We're talking about the biggest URC crowd potentially ever. We're about to break a record for the biggest URC crowd ever. And we're not talking about, we're not 2 years deep into competition. And the question continues to be, what is a good thing to go to Europe? Is it a good thing to be part of the URC? Is the URC a good competition? Is it worth it? Is it worth all the issues that come with it? The travel issues, for example. Have we made the right choice? Now, at this stage, we can't necessarily say yes or no. There's still quite a long way to go before we sort of really see the long-term benefits or the long-term disadvantages of being in the URC. But next weekend is going to be a landmark occasion. This morning, tickets went on sale on Ticket Pro, and they were sold out in 3 hours. And it was absolutely mental to see the number of people. I mean, I saw a screenshot where somebody had tried to jump onto the site to get tickets, and there were 17,000 in the queue. So that is going to be a pretty epic occasion. And I'm very excited to sort of see exactly sort of the type of crowd we see. Because also, what was very cool to see, and this is, I think, what's going to be very interesting, is there does seem to be a pretty large sort of Munster fan collection and sort of segment of fans who are planning on coming down for the trip. Now, look, at the moment, the rand is currently plummeting, which means that this trip is cheaper than ever for away fans. But people always get asked, the question, this is a really bad idea because, this doesn't cater for, traveling fans, and you won't have that traveling support and stuff like that. We're about to find out, aren't we? We're about to find out if that is indeed the case, or whether, in fact, despite it being South Africa, there might be a very large traveling contingent that could be coming out to South Africa for a week. And how's that for a nice sort of way to get away? Go spend the week in Cape Town, or spend a couple of days in Kruger, and then go down to Cape Town, stuff like that. So I'm very interested to see, sort of from a tourist perspective, what it's going to be like in terms of seeing the type of crowd that we do see. A full sellout crowd at Cape Town Stadium is 55,000 people. I cannot remember the last time we saw a crowd of that kind of size. We saw a big crowd for the semi-finals. We saw a big crowd, earlier this season for Stormers versus Bulls. The crowds are coming back slowly but surely. Obviously, we've been absolutely starved of rugby, since COVID, sort of live events. But traditionally, the only sort of team that would bring a crowd in were the Springboks. Now, this is no longer the case. The fact is that the Stormers, given their success, are going to play in front of an absolute sellout crowd next weekend and could be looking good to win their second URC. And this is a really big boost. First of all, credit goes to the Stormers for not taking the mickey in terms of the ticket price. They were starting as little as 80 Rand. There's big Twitter debate on that because an Irish journalist said, credit to them for doing that. And that's I think he said the wording was, that's one way to try and fill your stadium. Never took offense for it. I don't really think that's what he meant. I think he just meant, credit to the union for not trying to, just hike up the price to make as much money out of it as possible. And to be being perfectly honest, yes, standard of living and stuff that's completely different in South Africa. 80 Rand is cheap for a ticket. I don't care who you are. For a URC final, 80 Rand, I mean, for the biggest URC match of the season, 80 Rand is very reasonable for a ticket. Obviously, there are more expensive ones, stuff like that. But I mean, when you look at like test matches, which can start at 400 or 500 Rand, this is the biggest non-test match you can get. So credit to the Stormers and Western Province Union for, as I said, for making it pretty accessible. And then credit to the fans. 3 hours sellout, 55,000 seats, potentially all full next weekend. It should be an absolutely epic occasion. It should be a brilliant atmosphere. And I, for one, cannot wait to cover it. Obviously, we'll be live over here on the channel. So hopefully you guys will come and join us and make it the biggest watch-along of the year. It should be a lot of fun. But yeah, let me know. Do you think that this sort of shows you the power of the URC and how this competition might keep growing? Or are we still a little bit hesitant to sort of decide on where we sort of stand with the URC itself? Let me know down in the comments below. Smash like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.